Hendrick Motorsports are having one of their best seasons yet in the NASCAR Cup Series. After just 9 races completed this season, the HMS drivers have won 5 of them. There's no doubt that their drivers are a few of the favorites to win the championship this year. Despite their success this season, Kyle Petty had some harsh words for one of the HMS drivers. This season, both Kyle Larson and William Byron have been performing well for Hendrick Motorsports. While Larson is the current leader in the points table, Byron has the maximum number of race wins so far. Both of these drivers have been credited for the results they have achieved so far, and are both in contention for the championship. Here's what Kyle Petty had to say about Larson and Byron and what they meant to the team. "We know the story of Kyle Larson. He gets in a car and he drives the freaking wheels off of it. He doesn't want to know what tires are on it. He doesn't want to know what the springs are. He doesn't want to know anything else. Give him a steering wheel and a place to sit, and by God, he's your guy. He's your guy, it's that simple." William Byron is not that kind of driver. Jeff Gordon was not that kind of driver. Neither was Kurt Busch or Kevin Harvick in recent years. These are franchise players, Petty explained. These are players that not only see the race car, they see the organization, and they see where the race can go, and they drive that bus. That's what I'm talking about. Petty feels that Kyle Larson is a driver who would leave the team if he gets a better offer to drive a faster car, whereas drivers like William Byron, Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, and Kevin Harvick are not like that. Although some of these drivers have retired from the sport, they continue to be well respected by their past teams. When these drivers join a team, they make sure that they do everything possible to make the team succeed, even if it means sacrificing their personal gain. Petty thinks that Larson is more focused on getting the best result for himself during the race, but Byron and the rest of the mentioned drivers will also focus on helping their teammates to become better racers. "I think Jimmie Johnson rode a lot of the time on the bus that Jeff had created. Jeff built that into a place. Jimmie's a phenomenal race car driver, cut from the same cloth as a Kyle Larson. But Jimmie's not that guy to me with the technical knowledge that's going to move the ball. I think William Byron is that guy who has an understanding of the car mechanically and aero-wise and is going to move that ball, and does it at an early age. Does it like Jeff Gordon at an early age," Petty added. "Kevin Harvick was that way. He carried Stewart-Haas Racing for 3 or 4 years, just on his back. He had no help from his teammates. They were riders, not drivers, from the bus standpoint. They were race car drivers, but not drivers from the bus stop." Jimmie Johnson is a 7-time Cup Series champion who drove for Hendrick Motorsports for almost his entire career. Although he is still racing today, he's only a part-time driver for Legacy Motor Club. According to Kyle Petty, Jimmie was more focused on personal growth than team growth. "So I think there are franchise players, and that's almost a better way to put it. If I'm going to build a franchise, I'm going to build a team. I'm going to build it with a William Byron. I'm going to go win races with Kyle Larson, but Kyle Larson's not a builder. He's just going to come in and win a bunch of races. But when he leaves and my car isn't good, and I don't have a guy with the talent of a Kyle Larson, I'm not going to run well. William Byron's going to leave the company a better place." There are drivers who focus on personal growth, and there are drivers who focus on team growth. There is no right or wrong. Every team usually has a combination of both. This helps them get some results. Why they have another driver helping the team develop the car in the long run. For Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson is a more experienced driver but does not focus much on helping the team. He has won a Cup Series championship but has not been able to do it more than once. Before arriving at Hendrick Motorsports in 2021, Larson drove for Chip Ganassi Racing. Although he was able to get a few race wins during his 6-year tenure at the team, he was unable to win a championship. After getting frustrated with the team, he decided to go to Hendrick Motorsports, seeking his own success. He went on to win the championship in his first year with HMS. But there is no doubt that he will get every unit of pace left in the car to get the best result possible in every race. Even if he has to risk the car to get a better result, he will do so. So if you're looking for a driver to just win races, Larson is your man. This season, he looks good to win the championship again, as he has already qualified for the playoffs and is leading the points table. While it takes the entire year to win a championship, it just takes a second to hit that subscribe button for our channel, so don't forget to do so. William Byron, on the other hand, is a bit less experienced. He started his career in NASCAR with Hendricks in 2018 and has remained with the team ever since. Over the years, he has grown with the team. In the last few years, he's been unlocking his true potential. This season, he has already won 3 races, making it his best start to a NASCAR Cup Series season. Unlike Larson, he's not focused much on personal success. He also helps the team understand the problems and strengths in the car, which helps the team develop the machine even further. Byron is a very technical driver. He makes sure that he understands the car before driving it. This helps a lot in understanding the practical problems faced in the car's performance while driving at high speeds. Giving this sort of feedback is vital for the team as they look to get a hold of these new next-gen cars. In 2022, these new cars were introduced to NASCAR. There were a number of changes in the technical design of the cars as they made it more aerodynamically sensitive. This change was made so the cars could take street circuits without losing much pace. However, in order to properly develop the cars, the team would require the drivers to give proper feedback. Byron fits this role perfectly. Larson, on the other hand, will not bother much about feedback as long as he's able to drive fast. Drivers like William Byron will also encourage NASCAR teams to recruit young drivers as they will be guided by experienced drivers like Byron. Another example of a team player is Denny Hamlin. Although he has his own race team in NASCAR, he chooses to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing as they gave him first opportunity in NASCAR. He has also taken on Joe Gibbs' grandson, Ty Gibbs, under his wing. Hamlin mentors Gibbs as he looks to start making his own name in NASCAR. Given how quickly NASCAR keeps changing, it's important for teams to have drivers like William Byron to maintain their performance. We saw Kevin Harvick fill a similar role for Stewart-Haas Racing. Since he left the team last year, they have not been able to win a race. This is because they don't have a driver who is able to provide the team with the proper feedback to help them develop the car. Hendrick Motorsports has 4 drivers on the grid for the NASCAR Cup Series. Out of these drivers, 3 of them have already qualified for the playoffs. Before the season started, Larson was considered to be a championship contender, but after the season so far, only a fool would not consider William Byron as well. If Byron is able to keep up this performance until the end of the year, there's no doubt that we will be crowning a new champion this season. But there are still 17 more races to go in the regular season, although Byron has already qualified for the playoffs. He will have to continue to deliver the same type of performances to make sure that he does not lose his touch against some of the best drivers in the world. Larson will also be looking to do the same. But before the playoffs, he will want to win a few more races to get his confidence in the car. If the championship finals come down to these 2 drivers, we'll be in for an exciting race in Phoenix at the end of the year. If you're starting your own team in NASCAR, would you rather have William Byron or Kyle Larson on your team? Also, do you think either of the Hendrick Motorsports drivers will be able to win the championships this year in Phoenix?